Well, I just want to thank you all for your testimony on this issue. It's something that I am tracking closely and hope to dig into more as we move through the budget process. I also want to see something happen soon, and so that, Ms. Diener, is a concern that I have as well. I'm not as opposed to a public-private partnership, as you can imagine, as some people are, if it's the right thing. And I haven't seen the evidence yet, so we're working on that, and we'll have to make sure that, as was stated, that it's transparent and that it's make sure that everyone knows what's going on with it. So, but I'm open to moving forward as quickly as we can on this because I think that the way the library is not it's just not a great spot, and we have all these great libraries all over the city. It's time to have one, I think, that's downtown, that's Central Library, that can be positive for everybody as well. So, and I just say for the record, I think that, Mr. Otten, you make a good point that, and it would be an interesting exercise to have a charrette in every library in the city. I don't know if that's possible to undertake, but it certainly would be a good way to go about doing it, and it would elevate the exposure of the conversation. Even if we continue down the same exact path we're on, at least we would expose better what's happening, and more people would then feel inclined to come down and use that library and be engaged downtown, and I think that would be a positive for the city across the board.
Yep.
So thank you all for your testimony.
Mr. Wells.
I'll just say briefly that as an opening statement that I appreciate where we are with our public library system. We have great, wonderful new neighborhood library structures all across the city, probably one of the finest, certainly architectural tours you could take of new public infrastructure in the nation. And I'm very proud that we've done that. And we've done that at times with criticism by our local advocates, saying whether it be that we bring in outside architects or not, but what we have now is a model for the country, if not the world. But now in terms of some of the things that we have to do, I'm very appreciative that the funding is here for having library service for the DC jail. And I appreciate the administration for putting, apparently it looks like, enough money in there for this function. And we certainly want to have a model program that uses the best practices that we've seen from across the country, again, for our incarcerated residents. And the last thing is, in terms of the downtown library is now really the branch library for a lot of people that live downtown. We didn't used to have so many people that live downtown. And now it's a lot more than a downtown library. And also downtown libraries are a lot more than what they used to be. They're places to create. They're places a lot more than just a book. But I will say that whenever we look at public real estate and public assets, that at this time, because of the crisis of affordable housing, we should always look to see if there is a way to leverage in affordable housing. And I look at the top of the Mies building of our downtown library, and that is available real estate in one of the most expensive, sought-after places in the country. And if it is going to be used in a way that is complementary to the building, supports the public library, I think that we first have to rule out is that a place to where we can provide affordable housing for seniors and others. I cannot imagine a nicer place to live if you're someone who's aging in place downtown on fixed income, because everything is right there, including your public library. So that is I would be far more creative with what we do with downtown public spaces like that than just assume that we bring in private funding for public purpose. So thank you, Mr. Catania, and I look forward to the budget markup when we get there.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. I want to thank each of our public witnesses.